Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Today is June 30th, 2021. And we are working on Wool Gathering by Diamond Art Club. It's a very, very, very big canvas. And we are continuing with it. How are you doing today? If the heat is affecting you, I hope you have a place to cool down. Yesterday I had a little short ride in an ambulance. I went for a 3-kilometer walk in a 37-degree temperature. Was not a good idea. Nothing serious happened. I had a ride home in the ambulance, and I was told to rest for a couple of days and drink a lot of liquids, try to stay cool. Well, that was the first in my life that I was overcome by the heat. It was a bad idea to go for my daily walk at that time of the day. I am fine now. Nothing bad serious happened. It was a nice walk. Actually, I think what happened was that we went into the fields, the corn and wheat field, and there was absolutely no shade, no wind, sun beating down, and I think the heat was also reflecting. Am I making any sense? Reflecting from the ground. So actually I was getting heat from the top and the bottom with high humidity. And then there are fountains that come from the ground. You know, in the olden days there was the wells and there were these fountains. And we went to one of those, and I tried to cool myself off with the cold water and took small sips of the water, and for some reason that made me feel even worse. So my wonderful hubby got a little bit concerned and he called the ambulance. And they did give me a once over, and they refused to let me walk back home. They said they're afraid I might pass out on the street and probably have more damage, you know, so they recommended that I permit them to bring me home since I refused to go in the hospital. I said, you know, ridiculous, why should I go in the hospital? I can rest much better in my own environment than in the hospital, you know. Even though I am fully vaccinated, you still have to be a little bit careful. So I made a bargain with them, and they did bring me to my home together with hubby, who was very upset. He never seen me if he gets sick. And they followed me into my home, make sure I was drinking and sitting down, make sure there's air circulating, you know, and things like that. They wanted to make sure that I am stable before they go on their way. And they left the instructions to call them back if I am not feeling 100% fine, you know, by nightfall. So I thought it was rather nice of them, you know. Actually, they sat down and waited to make sure that I am stable. Evidently, I was quite a bad condition. They said I was pale and my skin was clammy, and I said, oh dear, well. It's not the first time I was out in the heat. I really don't understand. So folks, learn your lesson from my lesson. Be careful. You never know when Mother Nature plays a trick. And I guess with everything that our system, and health has to deal with nowadays, a bit of extra exertion might have negative effect. Anyway, I was very surprised. And I was even more surprised that after I literally dosed myself with cooling water instead of getting better. And I did not gulp water. I was sipping it little by little. And when I noticed I didn't get any better after a couple of sips, I stopped. But, so as far as my skin feeling clammy, probably it was from the water, but okay. So they checked my heart and everything, and, they said, I said, no, you shouldn't do that. I said, why not? I do it every day. They said, well, you should not do it because right now your body gave you a warning that you should be more careful. Well, lately I haven't slept very much, because of the heat wave. I mean, how can you sleep? So it was quite an eventful day. And I didn't get a chance to put up a video or do my diamond painting. I was given very strict orders, and they told hubby, well, you know him by now, she should be resting. Resting means laying down, feet slightly elevated, water next to her, sipping water, taking temperature every half hour. I had a slight raise of temperature, about 2 degrees, which they did not think was very good. So afterwards, hubby left with these instructions. You could imagine what he was doing, like, how you feeling, dear? I go, I was trying to go to sleep, but you keep on waking me up every 5 minutes. How you feeling, dear? I said, I'm fine. Drink some water, dear. I drink water. I get up. Where are you going, dear? I said, well, since you put all the water in me, I mean, what goes in comes out. One way or another, right? That's where I'm going. Oh, shall I help you? I go, no, thank you. I know how to go pee-pee by myself. Thank you. Could you possibly go study or read a book or do something useful besides, driving me crazy? So hubby played Florence Nightingale, and I think he absolutely enjoyed it. He could order me around. I'm just following doctor's orders. I go, okay. Thank you, dear. I'm telling you, folks, never a dull moment. And of course, the ambulance parked a couple of houses away. And you have these 2 ambulance guys and my husband, escorting me to my home. And then when they realize I have to go up, I don't know, a couple of stairs because I live on the first floor, they go, oh, shall we carry you? I go, oh, please. Come on. I said, no, thank you, I can walk. So you're going up these narrow staircases with two guys on each side of you. You think there's enough room to go up those stairs? I go, could you please move over, go ahead or go behind or do something because all of us cannot fit. But we don't want you to fall down the stairs. Why would I fall down the stairs? Anyway, they were very considerate and nice, and they really wanted to make sure that, everything is okay. So I cannot complain about them. I can complain about hubby overreacting, but then, I can understand his point of view. We were far away from home in a very sparsely inhabited area, so if I did pass out or something, it would have been extremely difficult to get help. And this way, actually, I was sitting on a bench, soaking wet, as I told you. I literally took a bath in that water fountain. So actually, I was sitting there until he went, because he wouldn't take no for an answer anymore. He said, I never seen you looking so sick, so he's going to call help. So I was sitting on a bench underneath a tree in a shade. It's about the best that you can do under that circumstance. And by that time, there was a little bit of breeze. If for nothing else, then the leaves of the tree were moving. So I told him I'd be all right, just let me rest. But according to the ambulance guys, I would not have made it home. We were probably about 2 kilometers from home. And it was still 37 degrees centigrade. And then the wind stopped. So it was the opinion of the ambulance and the doctor that no way I could make it on foot at home without passing out on the street. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue with 3 men that decided, I'm on the verge of passing out or some other interesting thing. I don't think I have passed out in my life, but, I'm used to these 3-kilometer hikes in all kinds of weather. It's very unusual. I would say I am feeling a little bit weak, but that's about it. I feel fine, Thank God. The electrocardiogram showed nothing to be concerned about. Blood pressure was good, So, this is what is called heat exhaustion. Does that make any sense? Because I don't know what that is. But that's what they wrote down on the paper that I'm supposed to give to my family doctor. We have a thing on our telephone. I think in America you call 911. Where here you have what is called a lifesaver application that has all your information, and if you're so bad off that you cannot talk, you press the button and you keep the telephone open until help comes, and it shows where you are located, etc. We were in a park, so we could not even give a location to the ambulance service because there was no street signs or anything else. I said, we're in the middle of a park. There are a lot of parks here in the city. And we told them, well, we're out by the fields, by the corn and the wheat fields. Well, excuse me, all the fields out there are corn and wheat fields. And hubby has an accent. He speaks Hungarian and he speaks English, but of course he has an accent. He is Arab. And he got very upset. You know, his wife is sick and he doesn't know what to do. He said, first of all, calm down. The end of the world is not here. Calm down. Everything will be fine. It's hard to convince him. I suppose I would have been upset too if I would have seen my husband that ill. But remember, he's a desert dweller. And even for him, it was hot. Me being from land of snow and ice and Eastern Europe, you know, of course I was feeling the heat. But really I thought, just let me sit down. Let me sit a while, I'll be fine. And didn't work that way for some weird reason. Anyway, I told you of my very new event. Probably bored you to death with it, but since extremely unusual, I'm not in the habit of getting a ride by the ambulance. I did feel embarrassed. I mean, you know, I felt like there's actually very sick people needing the ambulance. And here I am taking a ride home in it. And then the ambulance doctor said no, because he was convinced that I was going to pass out on the street. And that would have caused more harm than, you know, bringing me home. Since I did refuse to go to the hospital, I said, why should I go? I didn't see any point since, you know, the routine examinations done in the ambulance showed absolutely nothing that was life-threatening or just needed time for the body to get back into normal working order. Then, of course, they were upset that there was no air conditioning. I said, well, we were the first ones to rent this flat, and the house was not even done yet. And the owner didn't want air conditioning. So much for that. But it's really not usual to be this hot, and especially not in June. And the humidity was high, so I think that must have been a combination of things that just added up. We really should not have been walking at that time of day. Should have waited until after 5 or 6 and go at night, you know. So in that, on that aspect, you know, we were at fault. Of course, the ambulance guy didn't say that. He said they had a lot of calls because of the unusual heat wave. I said, okay. But I did feel rather, you know, bad. You know, here are these guys taking me home when there are probably people in need of their services. But that's just me, you know. These are our beautiful, sparkly Aurora Borealis drills. These yellow flowers have shiny, special drills in them. And so there's the eggs over here, which gives an extra sparkle to our beautiful canvas. This is a very big canvas, as I have already told you. But we are finally getting to it after finishing the difficult one. I did give my constructive criticism to the owner of the one we did for review, and she answered back that they would try to improve on the issues that I found. But then those issues she has had for years already. So I said, okay, fine. And she asked, do I want to order another one? I said, not at this moment because I have 3 waiting. And yes, I will order from them for the very simple reason that I want to see whether they did improve, and I want to see whether the other canvases have the same problem, or did I just get a difficult canvas. And then I will give my recommendation, whether I recommend you to order from that company, or whether I recommend you wait a little bit to let's see if they do work on the problems. Because I would not want to recommend a company and then you would be angry at me for saying everything is fine when everything is not fine. However, if you are an experienced diamond painter, then I would say go ahead and order from the victoriasmoon.co.uk because I'm positive you can handle it. But I would not recommend it as a beginner's canvas. So that was done. And our daily exercise yesterday was done. First time ever I rode an Hungarian ambulance. I'm hoping the last time. So things are slowly moving along at their own, in their own particular way. I've been drinking so many ice water, I think my voice is going. Okay, I saw these number 2s are Aurora Borealis drills right there. I think we have some yellow ones, and we have some where the chicken's beak. Yeah, and then we have some white ones like we had in the chickens, in the eggs. So I'm really happy the way this canvas is coming along. And it's wonderful, believe me, to have crafts when you are sent to Europe. You know, when we were on lockdown, we were doing diamond painting and learning amigurumi and crocheting and all this stuff. It's really wonderful to keep yourself occupied because we really don't have any other choice. Now this is number 3, it's also Aurora Borealis, and I see on top of the egg basket, there's a couple of them that was covered with the paper that I lifted up today. So this is the top of the basket with the eggs in it. I am getting a little bit of sunlight on the canvas, so perhaps you can see more sparkle this way. Okay, that's finished with that. Now, some tan ones. The rim of, excuse me, the basket. My water is behind me on the table. Of course. Where else would it be? Oh dear. This is this symbol up there. And the threesome in the middle. other side. We need some of these tan or caramel color. Actually, I use the same kind of basket when I go to the farmer's market to bring eggs home in, and a different one for the veggies, you know. Because the eggs, you have to be careful, so by the time you get home, it doesn't get to be scrambled eggs. And we have one over here, right there. Okay, and we have some more on the top. Since we have these symbols out, let's get them in here. That's a 1, 2, 3 over there. On the side of it, there. And then we have 2. What is that? I don't see what the picture is. Something in the grass? Ah, ground. Ground, because the lady is standing by the fence looking out over the meadow where the woolly sheep are. I guess that's why it's called wool gathering. She's gathering the sheep. In Hungary, usually they have dogs that help get the sheep into the corral for the night. And they have competitions as to how well the dogs are trained as far as handling the sheep, obeying the commands of the owner, whether it be hand command or whistle or voice, whatever. Most of the dogs know by instinct. I really don't know how they are trained, but it's fantastic when you see those competitions. Those dogs are absolutely amazing. And they are not bothered by traffic or visitors or anything else. They know the sheep are their job, and they're there to do their job. It's as simple as that. And when the sheep are all nicely in order, then they lay down and wait for the command from their owner. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And I'm not unfortunately, not a very, how shall I say, pet fan. That means house pets. I do believe animals belong outside. They should be free to roam. I don't see the point of keeping large dogs in a small apartment. That's just cruel, I think. I understand that people love them. And then there are working dogs, of course, you know, we're not talking about them. And they do make the life of some people with disabilities much easier, much more independent. So evidently dogs are extremely intelligent. And they do return the love and the care that they receive. Perhaps the fact that I never had any pets is why I am, I don't know. But let me tell you, if I see somebody mistreating a pet or an animal, I will definitely defend the animal. Because it's not the animal's fault that it's living with the humans, you know? But I have seen great love between pets and their owners. Even to the point of the pets being lifesavers. I guess the way I was raised, you know, in Europe, in sort of a village, is that animals belong in their place outside. And the majority of the animals are working animals. They either watch the house or help with the animals or, you know, things like that. Serve as doorbells, you know. I mean, the whole neighborhood knows if someone goes to visit you because a dog is barking. And they do have a big mouth. But it was not accustomed to keep the animals in the house. Aside from the baby chickens that just hatched, you know, they kept them near the wood-burning stove to keep them warm. And then when they were strong enough, they would go out into the chicken house. And the dogs would be there too, to make sure foxes and whatever that steal chickens, you know, cannot get to them. So this is what I mean, they were all working dogs. I suppose if I would have grown up with pets, I would have a different opinion about them. But I do believe the animals are animals and they deserve their freedom. They deserve to be treated like animals, you know? Okay. Moving along. Now we have some of those dots over there. So we can take that one now and then continue over here. There's only a few squares on the bottom that are not filled because I saw the same symbols on the top, so I figured I'd do them all at once, you know. So let's get these over here. And one there. Okay. I thought there was 3 dots, but there are 2 dots. And we have 2 jars of this because it didn't fit into one. You remember when we were kitting up this this canvas? Okay. I think on the bottom, that's all there was of that. So we will continue onward. And right there. These are 2 dots. Symbols are nice and easy to see on this canvas. Restore the sight to my eyes after the other one. anyway, no one can say that we are quitters. We promised to do it for review and we did it. And I gave a very constructive criticism. Let me put it this way, I cleaned up what I really wanted to say. There were many a times when I thought, I don't think this is going to get done. But we did it. Actually, lately we've been taking care of quite a few problems. So we learned quite a bit, in my opinion, as to how to solve situations that come along. And they actually might at any time come up, and we can learn from our experience and use what we have learned by solving these problems. Some were minor, some were more complicated, but we solved them all. We did our research, we tried out what works best. I hope I was helpful by giving you constructive suggestions as to how to overcome problems. Now, where did you come from? You'd be surprised what I sweep up from the floor. Actually, I don't think you'd be surprised. Did I tell you the other day I dumped a whole container full of drills? Yeah, right into my lap, on the floor, on the canvas. I mean, folks, there was drills all over the place. And you don't want to hear the words I was using. But of course, I cleaned it all up. Okay, did the wax come out again? Usually when you're doing aurora borealis, it might happen because of the special coating that's on it. It has a tendency to pull the wax out. We will fix that. Okay. Let me see. Very good. Okay. Well, we got crowded over here. Okay, let's see. That's a threesome, across is a foursome. Okay. I load up a four placer and then I can't find a place where I'm supposed to put four. Okay. Once in a while, the four placer actually wants to be four placer. Pretty green color. It's very good at getting close to nature's color seeing. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I need a 3. Okay. Let's go this way. Nope. Right there. Okay, let's give it a shake, shake, shake. Line up the guys. Okay. I just saw you, yeah, right here. There. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, be careful with the heat, stay happy. Please hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.